Oktoberfest sees a rise in demand for non-alcoholic drinks in Germany.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's Social Democrat Party narrowly beat the far right in the Brandenburg elections yesterday. With all eyes on the East German state elections that took place this month, it seems that the established parties have a long road ahead before the federal elections next year. Political expert Dr. Jan Philipp Tomaszek says the situation is tough.
Also erstmal kann man sagen, dass jetzt durchatmen kann, denn Brandenburg hat gewonnen und die SPD ist stärkste Kraft geworden. Anders als in Thüringen und Sachsen, da sah es ja sehr schlecht aus. Das heißt, dieser Trend hat sich jetzt nicht fortgesetzt, sondern die SPD hat gezeigt, dass sie auch noch Wahlen gewinnen kann.
And what happens now?
Also als nächstes kommen natürlich die Koalitionsgespräche. Brandenburg braucht eine Regierung und eigentlich gibt es nur eine Variante, nämlich dass SPD und BSW zusammenarbeiten. Das ist die Frage, ob sie das schaffen. Wenn sie das nicht schaffen, dann gibt es Neuwahlen und dann gibt es natürlich wieder einen Wahlkampf und ein ganz neues Ergebnis. Ich glaube aber, dass die AfD davon eigentlich nur profitieren würde. Von daher ist das auch nicht im Interesse der anderen Parteien.
Although AfD has made major gains in all three eastern state elections, they will be unable to govern as all parties have vowed not to cooperate with them. We asked Potsdam residents what they made of the vote.
Ich finde es gut, dass die AfD nicht stärkste Kraft geworden ist, auch wenn sie viel zu viele Stimmen bekommen hat aus meiner Sicht. Ich hoffe, dass es die Möglichkeit gibt, die AfD inhaltlich zu stellen und zu zeigen, dass sie eigentlich keine Angebote hat, die wirklich das Land Brandenburg voranbringen.
Also ja, ich habe gestern gewählt und ich fand die Wahlergebnisse deutlich besser als in manchen anderen Bundesländern.
Coalition negotiations in the other states of Thuringia and Saxony have not yet concluded. Both the Greens and the FDP have been kicked out of the state parliaments. For the Greens, it was a close call, but the Liberals will now be fighting for their survival. Now that the three East German state elections of Thuringia, Saxony and Brandenburg are over, political pressure is mounting on the Liberals. German Finance Minister Christian Lindner is under immense pressure to make key decisions before Christmas this year, as many are now wondering if the FDP will even survive in the coalition government until the federal elections next year. Liv Stroud, in Potsdam, for Euronews.
Germany's economy minister Robert Habeck said he will support Germany's car industry, but is hesitant about raising tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles.
Gleichwohl bin ich kein Fan von Zöllen, von Ausgleichszöllen, weil das wahrscheinlich zu Gegenmaßnahmen führen wird und uns in einen Zollstreit, vielleicht Krieg mit China verwickeln wird. Ich dringe also auf eine politische Lösung.
The German car industry is in the middle of a crisis when it comes to the production of electric vehicles. Car manufacturers are complaining about the competition from China, who are able to keep their production costs low due to subsidies. Many German car makers, including Volkswagen, are considering closing production plants in an attempt to become more profitable. Habeck emphasized the need for a long-term solution and warned that quick fixes could possibly collapse the industry again.
France's new government met for the first time on Monday, prioritizing budget and migrant issues. A recent statement by Prime Minister Michel Barnier addressing the tax reforms raised controversy, as he told in an interview that the wealthiest should contribute to the national effort. He added that taxes would not be raised for the poorest people.
Non, je ne vais pas alourdir encore l'impôt sur l'ensemble des Français qui payent déjà le plus d'impôts de tous les partenaires européens.
Pas de hausse d'impôts
sur les gens les plus modestes, ni sur les gens qui travaillent, ni sur les classes moyennes. Mais je ne vais pas exclure dans l'effort national qu'il faudra faire pour redresser la situation.
On the other hand, French Conservative Bruno Retailleau on Monday vowed to restore order through the policy of the majority, as he took over as the Interior Minister from Gérald Darmanin.
La politique de la majorité nationale, avec 3 priorités, vous les retiendrez facilement. La première, rétablir l'ordre. La deuxième, rétablir l'ordre. La troisième, rétablir l'ordre.
Un petit arrêt,
The long-awaited list of government members dominated by conservatives and centrists was unveiled Saturday.
The European Union doesn't trust the Chinese investigation on European dairy products. Brussels believes it's based on questionable allegations and insufficient evidence. This is why, for the first time, it has challenged the investigation in front of the World Trade Organization and asked for it to be looked into.
We are of the firm view that China's decision to initiate this dairy investigation is not in line with WTO rules. So we are therefore taking action to protect our industry.
The dairy industry is a collateral casualty of an ongoing trade dispute between China and the European Union. The Chinese probe was launched in late August, few hours after the European Commission confirmed the tariffs on Chinese electrical vehicles. As a result, the European Dairy Association now feels like they are the victim.
The European dairy is a hostage, if you will, in trade tensions that are completely unrelated with milk and dairy. That's why we really insisted in the Commission to help us here. And it's not the first time that dairy is taken as a hostage. And for all we know, the Chinese side did not even deny that there is a link to the electric vehicle dossier.
The Chinese investigation targets milk, cream, and some specific kinds of cheese, like mozzarella. It's not the first time that European producers have found themselves trapped in a trade war between the EU and other powers, like the US.
Extreme floods such as those that have devastated Central Europe in recent weeks are likely to become more frequent as the Earth's temperature rises. That's according to a leading Austrian climate research expert who says these events that were once expected to occur every 100 years may now happen every 80 to 90 years.
Wir erwärmen uns derzeit mit einer Geschwindigkeit, also die Erde als Ganzes, von ca. 14 Hiroshima-Atombomben pro Sekunde. Das ist die Zusatzenergie, die eben, wie wir als Menschen derzeit dem System Erde hinzufügen, mit dem sich die Erde erwärmt. Und das führt eben dazu, dass die Luft auch mehr Wasserdampf enthalten kann und solcher Starkregen auch extremer wird.
Flooding across Central Europe, triggered by Storm Boris, has destroyed homes and public infrastructure and killed at least a dozen people. In the St. Pölten area of Lower Austria last weekend, up to 430 litres of rain per square metre fell within a few days, a volume that usually falls over 6 to 9 months.
Was wir jetzt schon sagen können, ist, dass der gesamte Bereich über Mitteleuropa, sowohl die Ozeane als auch die Landmassen, heutzutage um 2 bis 3 Grad wärmer sind im Vergleich zu vorindustrieller Zeit durch den menschengemachten Eingriff durch die Emissionen von klimawirksamen Treibhausgasen. Und das führt dazu, dass eben diese gesamten Luftmassen, nicht nur die warmen, feuchten Mediterranen, sondern auch diese polaren, kalten Luftmassen um diese 2 bis 3 Grad wärmer sind und somit pro Grad Erwärmung um 7% mehr Wasserdampf aufnehmen können, wenn sie gesättigt sind. Heißt, dieses gesamte Konglomerat an Luftmassen kann im Vergleich zu vorindustrieller Zeit jetzt 15 bis 20% mehr Wasserdampf aufnehmen.
It's estimated that repairing the damage caused by the floods will cost more than €1 billion.
Brussels is immersed in creativity as the city celebrates design for an entire month. Art and colors have pervaded almost every corner of the Belgian capital. Jacopo Koenig stands out as one of the most eclectic and surreal artists of the festival.
Because of how many informations we get every day, I feel like I see the world as absurd, so I can only create things for me that are absurd and think and seemingly lack meaning, but if you look at it intensely, everyone can find their own meaning.
His work is largely inspired by Dadaism and the nonsense of the present.
Dadaism focuses on the glorification of what's random, of what doesn't make sense at the beginning, but then you can give it your own sense by making it come true.
Dozens of events will be taking place till the end of September. Some of them feature innovative design objects, with a very specific practical function, such as this expandable wheelchair for children called Hugo, which was created to be more reusable and durable than ordinary ones.
Unfortunately, not every family can afford a wheelchair, to buy a wheelchair every 1 year or 2. It's actually an innovative adjustable frame that you can see just here, that allows the wheelchair to grow with the child.
Reuse and adapt are also the keywords of another exhibition, focused on finding ways to live and build more sustainably.
The situation of demolishing and rebuilding, which is getting faster and faster, and it's a huge environmental problem. What we actually need is, when we build a building, is that the structure of the building is very flexible, and to have a capacity for a building to live several lives, and for the structure of the building to be able to live several lives. And for that you need to have some kind of a basic regulation on the adaptability of building and particularly on the structure of the buildings.
The Design Festival will return to Brussels in September 2025.